Hello, I'm Ike. He's DAZAI, and we're here again to talk about Pinoy comics. And I'm here to talk about one of the nicer, fluffier things to come out of comics in recent time. This is Nang ma-in love ako sa isang sakristan. When I fell in love with a sakristan, an altar boy. Okay, by Richard Mercado. Okay. Definitely, I will clarify immediately that this narrative is not the basis and not even connected to a series released on YouTube this year. So this came first. This was already compiled into a book in 2019 and started as an FB miniseries around that time. And first released at Komik. Our story goes like this. This is Francis. Francis, who always stays in front while during mass, always notices Didoy, the sacristan in question. Okay, Didoy is Didoy's guardian is Father Tony, who is the presiding priest of the subdivision's chapel, and Francis feels that Didoy knows what Francis is going through. That Didoy also keeps staring at Francis, and they stare at each other in a similar way. So yeah, and Francis keeps wondering if they're thinking the same thing. Does Didoy like me? And similarly, Didoy thinks, does Francis like me? This is confirmed when the point of view changes for a bit, and Didoy does notice Francis because he's always in front during the mass. Things come to a head when Francis's mother has to talk with Didoy's guardian, Father Tony. So they meet at the back of the church after the service, after the mass. So yeah, so they do meet each other. Say hello, and he's so cute, and you're also cute to me. So we're both staring, and things happen very quickly, and this happens in a few minutes. This is not pretty much. This is what happens. Well, while respective guardians are coming out. So of course, this happens while your guardians are coming out. So they immediately panic. Okay? And Didoy takes Francis along with him in both their panic to get away from their guardians, who they're scared of. How will they take that? What just happened? Okay. So, in their panic, to get away from the situation, Didoy asks for help from his friends in a barber shop. So mostly gay friends. So some people are aware of Didoy's identity, and so these are Didoy's friends. So they thankfully help Didoy with borrowing a tricycle for a while so they can get away even further, and using that they get even farther. And Francis also still in the panic mode. They propose to take a bus to get even farther. Okay. So yeah, so this is the basic run of the story, but so you see their concern, their panic about what their guardians will do to them, and Francis's mother will do to them. Okay. And where are they going to go after this? Eventually, they decide to go to get down. And this is pala, before we get to where they're going. Both of them are scared about what their individual guardians will say. It's not so much bigotry or homophobia, rather the cultural cultural accepted things, ganon. So, cultural homophobia, I guess, rather than the specific bigotry and homophobia of their respective guardians. They're just scared because it hasn't been discussed with their guardians, so they don't know how it will be accepted. So, it hasn't been brought up at all because of cultural things, diba? But not by the specific problems within these with the guardians themselves. They're just scared how their grown-ups will take it. So that's causing all of this running away in panic. They eventually decide to stop at Laguna, where the guardians run after them. Okay. And then they eventually decide to stop at Pansol, Laguna. So, swimming area. So, ayan. And that's ayan. So, yun. So, that's where they decide to talk about it more and talk with each other a bit more while wondering what are they gonna do about the situation, and while guardians are keeping an eye on them. And while the two are wondering how these grown-ups will take it, sad grown-ups are also thinking about for themselves how are they gonna do this? How are they going to face the two and talk about this? Okay, so yeah. So overall, that's how this story goes. There were two earlier pieces, and this is actually a more technically improved version of this slightly unconservative style that Richard Mercado uses. But diba, that said, it's still a very clear presentation of what is going on, has typesetting in the nice correct places, while still emphasizing the difference as compared to most usual presentations. And then ayun, the pacing is definitely very nice for this series, and yeah, it's nice and slow. It's appropriate for this tale anyway pala, this is the front of the book and this is the back of the book. Please buy this version from Silaw, and that is the Facebook address of this story. Okay, but yun. Okay, so yun, this is a nice little story of two 17-year-olds getting to accept their identity and accepting their love for each other, and for the people around them to understand also their love for these two kids that they care for. So it's very nice and it's very sweet. So don't worry about that. It's not a story of bigotry. It's a story of understanding and making sense of being gay and being LGBT, especially in this country, which has conservative standards, conservative ideals. Okay, so don't worry about the fact that about yung possible concerns about how bad it could get. It is actually very nice in how it presents concerns, the need for the validation of concerns, and also the awareness of these concerns, and making choices, making decisions to love people. This is that kind of story, and we really need more stories like that. Actually, Komiks has others if you give them a chance. They're on PenLab. Many of them are on PenLab at the moment. Okay, and yun, what else can I say? The overall presentation is nice and even paced. Don't expect this to be fast because this is a romantic story anyway. So it moves at an even pace that suits the story very well. All of the introduced characters are presented well and given good characterization and given a chance to understand each other and understand the situation, and to be loving, 'di ba? Which is very good, 'di ba? So it's very nice to have it in a story like this. So yun. So I hope this gets turned into a movie. I guess it's really cute, and it's it's a story that deserves that kind of treatment, so that more people will see that it's possible to be more loving, to be more accepting, and to love others and to not immediately judge. It's really more than possible. Okay, and yes, please get this book. Yes, it's available to read on PenLab, but yeah, it's worth getting in this printed version. It's available on Silaw Publishing, under Toto Madayag. I'll give the links where they're given, so you can access them. They're available on Shopee, okay, and Lazada Shopee, okay, and yeah. So please get this book, and yeah. And again, I'm Ike. He's DAZAI. Please continue to read, and please continue to enjoy Pinoy comics. Thank you.